Okay, so this video is going to be much simpler. We're still building it upon the previous one, but we're going to write out a separate script just in case anyone wants to see just how to do this ability, use this type of mechanic. So basically, you hold down a key for a certain amount of time, and then when you let go of the key, a certain special move is performed. In this case, it's going to be like a rising knee attack, but the same code would work if, say, you want to charge up like a weapon, and then when you let go, it fires off a projectile. So in that case, you need to put an instantiation command, but the principle as far as capturing the keystroke, and the timer would be the same. So we'll call this I'll call this knee attack. Now I just want to point out something. Even though this script and this script are attached to the same object, this script cannot affect any variables in this script or vice versa. You would have to make them static variable. So that's when you do public static and then the type of variable that it is. So these two will not be able to use each other's variables. The code here will still work as long as it's not trying to access a variable from this other script. So like for instance, when she lands, there's a script, there's a code in this script that handles what to do when they land. So the code is still working. I just wanted to separate out what's going on. So I'm going to grab this a little bit at a time, and then we'll edit the new script. Okay, so we have public key code charge knee. Okay, so charge knee is going to be what key you press to make it happen. Public float knee charge timer. So that is going to make sure that you have held down the key long enough to trigger the attack. And this is the image that's going to be used when the knee attack is utilized. We applied it in this one here. However, since I'm making a separate script, we need to put it here too, because like I said, they cannot use variables from each other unless they're static. So let's go into, I just separated this into its own folder. We'll take that knee image and we'll put it there. And for the button, we'll keep using the WASD button, so S is usually down. Okay. So in ours, we're going to get rid of the start. We're not using it. You may need it in yours. Okay. So first thing, if input.getKey is charge knee. So if the S key is being held down, because as we said before, get key is an ongoing event. So as long as this key is held down, this variable is going to be increased by time.delta time, and that is how much time has passed since the previous frame. Next one, if input.keyUp, so now this is when you let go of the key, the one frame that you let go of the key, this will be true. So if getKeyUp for charge knee and knee charge timer is greater than 2 seconds. So knee charge timer here. So in other words, you had to ongoing hold this key for 2 seconds. So charge knee has been held down for a total of 2 seconds. Then you're going to do two things. Going to do a one-off velocity change. So get component rigid body 2D velocity new vector 4 6. So 4 horizontal, 6 vertical velocity. Gravity will do the rest. This launches it into the air, and then since it's a rigid body, gravity will pull it back down. Get component sprite renderer. Here's the knee image. Save that. Now, input.getKeyUp charge knee, so identical to this one, but you let go of it too soon. You let it go after, before 2 seconds has passed. And then what you want to do in that case, actually, let's just set it to 0. We don't want to do a counter. So, if you let the key up, and it's been less than 2 seconds, you want to set the counter back down. Otherwise, you could hold the key down, hold it down a little bit more, and eventually you'll get up to 2 seconds. So you need to, once you let go of the key, you need to make a decision. If it's been down for long enough, then have it occur. If not, then reset that timer. And because of the code that's in the other script, there's already an on collision script, and that will change the image back to the idle. So this should do it now. So let's tap down and make sure she doesn't leap. Hold down a little bit more, doesn't leap. A little bit more, doesn't leap. Now we'll do the full 2 seconds. There we go. Now she can move because, like I said, the other script is still there. Now she's still jumping, so we have to do one more thing. Okay, so if this works, we also need to set the knee back to 0. So in other words, if you've successfully executed this, charge timer needs to go back to 0. If not, then this keeps being true. So we need to set this back to 0. And now that should be complete. There you go. Now we'll tap it and make sure it doesn't work. There we go. Fixed. There we go. So that should do it. Now, as you saw, I was moving back while I was still jumped in the air. That's what I was getting at, I wanted to show just how easy this is, but again, in combination with the other skills, you need to make sure that you're not in the middle of another skill. So, just as in this other script, you have to check to see if they're jumping. You do the same thing here. You would add code that you would add an and make sure that they're not jumping when you're trying to do the knee. So that should about do it. Like I said, I kept this separate just in case people wanted to see just how to do it, but I also wanted to mention that you have to do this type of check as well to make sure that you're not interrupting one kind of move with another, unless of course you want them to be able to. Like one of the examples we mentioned is jumping back, but then doing the knee forward. So that would actually work right now. Actually, not really, because you'd have to charge down for 2 seconds. So the jump expires less than 2 seconds. So because of the timer, it won't work. But if we simply changed this so it's only like half a second or something, then yeah, you could do the rising knee out of the back jump. So that should about do it. Any questions, just let me know.